All right, good evening, everybody. First meeting of the Plan and Development Subcommittee and Town Council, Wednesday, April 19, 2023, here at 5 p.m. Veterans Room, agenda item number 1, roll call. Councilor Dow, absent. Assistant Member Murnadone, absent. Didi?
Here.
Councilor Lazo?
Here.
Councilor Adams? We have a quorum. Apologize for so early. We're trying to beat the next meeting, but based on these agenda items, it may go by kind of quick. All right, agenda item number 2, consider and accept planning and development meeting minutes of March 7th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Number 3, consider and accept planning and development meeting minutes of April 3rd, 2023.
So move.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? All those in favor? 3-0. Number 4, discuss review allowing the local historical district study committee to spend up to $16,000 for supplies and services related to designing and constructing a downtown historical walking tour before June 30th, 2023, using $8,000 from the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism grant and the $8,000 in the matching funds donated to the town. Entertain a motion to the town council to recommend that authorize the town manager sign all related papers.
So move.
Second.
All right, Ms. Dean?
Sure. We are here with Steve Brady, the local historic district study committee chair, who was kind enough to present the item. Supporting documentation we were provided included a memo which cites the donations the town's received to date and the motion that the town council approved accepting the donations in advance for you to be able to spend down the funds. And I'll show the rest to you.
Okay, so what we're working on is a local historic district walk. We have a national historic district in the core of the downtown. And so we're gonna create a self-guided walking tour. In the old days, it would be guided and someone would take people around. And it's, it would be kind of hard because with the sounds on the street, with motorcycles in particular, the echoes through the valley of the buildings is pretty rough. But anyway, what we want to do is give an opportunity for anyone at any time to go through the town and find out about the history of the town. And the way we're looking to do that is through the use of kiosks, QR codes, the internet, and some actual physical maps and brochures. So the initial plans that we're putting together have 4 kiosks. One at the depot, one at around 11 Crane Street, and one at the Common. Those are where the walking tour routes will intersect the rail trail. So anyone walking along the rail trail, when that's developed, will be able to just look at this kiosk, and if they want, they can go through one loop or both loops of the walking tour. The walking tour will have 2 loops. One will be the center village, which will take you from the depot down Main Street to the Common, and then back up Main Street on the other side. So we found it best to go down one side of the street, and the way it would work with the self-guided is QR codes are on buildings on both sides of the street. And come up the other side of the street, make a detour down Elm Street up to the Congregational Church, as far as that, and then back over to Hamilton Street and Goddard, and then back to the depot. From there, they can take a second one, which is an actual loop, which is called the Hamilton Loop, and the Church Loop is its sub-name, because that will take you along Hamilton Street from the depot, a little off route to like Crane Street, where it will intersect the rail trail again. But you can come back from there and then go up Marcy, because you have St. Mary Church at the corner of Marcy and Hamilton, back up to Main Street where Notre Dame is, and then down Main Street, back to Hamilton Street, and back over. So those are the 2 trails. Now, the thing where the money comes in is the design, the kiosks, internet, the QR code integration into the websites. So all that stuff is planned and everything. And we have one person, well, actually two groups. There's Flyer View that is working on the interactive mapping, which actually they did a nice prototype. We actually sent them a historical write-up in a spreadsheet along with photographs of the sites. And they have it so that when you are at a location in the map, when you check, you pop on the location and pictures of the site come up. It's very neat. You'd have historic picture, a current day picture, and then a description of the building, when it was built, who built it, and more information to be added as time goes on. So it's like a whole year to keep adding information. So that's kind of neat. The other thing that we're going to do is on the kiosks, have the maps, and also brochures where you can get some brochures. And we're looking at a company, Braverman. They've done some signage in town before. Yeah, Favorman. That's right. And so we're going to work with them as well. So that's where the money's going to go.
Okay.
But it'll be it's an interesting project, and it has a great marketing opportunity for the town, because anyone can come to town at any time if we market it right and find out what the next step from Sturbridge Village was. Because Sturbridge Village is the period from 1790 to 1840, and our downtown basically is a Victorian downtown. It carries that period from 1860 right up to the early 1900s. Which is a really nice segue. The two should complement each other, and we're trying to make that happen.
Okay. Yes, Ms.
So the reason I added the designing and constructing a downtown is because should their expenses come in less than 16,000, we've asked the MOP grant if we can go ahead and start spending some of that money on physical things, and they've said yes, by all means, to be able to take advantage of the matching funds.
Yeah. So Favorman came back with, they have, they'll do it in phases, so we'll find out more about those phases, but it's gonna be, it'll be interesting. I'm excited about it.
And we may have to go out for quotes against Favorman if it's over a certain threshold.
Yeah,
We'll have to go
10,000
over
or
it.
something like that, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And the other company's about $4,500, Flyer View, but they're just doing the mapping, and they're doing the mapping that will integrate with the website, which Favorman will work on, and relating the QR codes to the website. So that's kind of neat. And discussion on how best to do the QR codes, that's another thing. That's all part of the
have
thing.
a conversation together, because the
Right.
Veterans Parks as well.
Yep.
I'll have to talk to you about that.
Yeah, so it's one of the things we're fighting with right now with QR codes. There's strong feelings about QR codes. One is they're going to be here forever, and the other is, well, VCR was going to be here forever too. So it's technology, and how do you integrate them into a plaque? Do you want to integrate them into a plaque? Is it wise to do something like that? Because on the buildings themselves, we're thinking of putting some kind of signage on the building itself that might have a QR code. But we also may put the QR code on the sidewalk in an epoxy, like they're doing in Worcester. But we have to, that's all part of that design. That's got to be.
I think you were discussing that the other day at the park.
Yes, exactly.
Anything else?
You're in good hands.
That's
I'm
it.
very impressed with what the committee's done. They've been working hard.
Councilor Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Is the Optica Museum being highlighted in this tour?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's the Crane Street.
Yeah.
That will be there, and one of the kiosks will be there that will say, "This is the optical museum."
Great.
It's right in here. That's one of the reasons we put it there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Didi?
It sounds great. As far as I'm concerned, it sounds great. I'm happy to hear this. I mean, and I know there's a lot of work that's involved. I love the history of history anywhere. I love it. So I think this is great. Now, parking. Have you guys figured out parking? Where are people gonna park when they're gonna go take their walk?
Well, the parking that we figured would, and one of the best places for parking in the past, whenever we had these walking tours, when we had invited groups as part of Walktober and things like that, have been right at the depot.
Okay.
And there is sufficient parking there for like small groups of people. It wouldn't be a big crowd. I mean, we've taken in the past, over 30 people on a walking tour, and they all parked in that area. Of course, it was always on a Saturday
Right.
or a Sunday
Yeah.
morning.
Would you also be going through the cemetery, Oak Ridge Cemetery?
No,
No,
not at this
Okay.
point, not at this point, but something could always be added.
all right, thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, that whole tip project that's happening over there by the depot, I mean, that's gonna be something else, so maybe we can add something at that point. I know it's not till 2025 now, but, yeah.
Right, and
okay.
that's where it's gonna be a little bit, if we set up kiosks, that's where, you know, we don't wanna have to re-engineer or anything like
Mhm.
that, so there's considerations
The
there.
change, okay. And then the, Oak Ridge, just so you know, we're working with the DPW now
Yeah.
on the, getting everything upgraded over there from software programs, so you can, you know,
Oh.
everything's still by a card. And
Yeah.
then it's kinda entered into, some software, but we're working with them right now. I
Oh,
just met
wow.
with them 2 weeks ago
That's
about
amazing.
that, so, I mean, if ever there's something down the road, that'd be something.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So just as, I guess, a teaser for future funding, so right now we are in it's called a Destination Development Capital Grant that we got from MOT, or Massachusetts Office of Travel Tourism. All of their logo has to be on our kiosks, our maps, our materials, and then we can go for a future capital grant. And so, like Steve is talking about, we'll wanna line that up, but we'll wanna make sure we don't undo any of our work. And so, you could potentially do in phases also for that, where there's permanent work already that we're not gonna disturb versus locations
Right.
that might get disturbed. You could do 2 smaller capital grants, if not, we seemed like they were open to that strategy.
And that was a suggestion from Mark Faberman,
Okay,
from Faberman Design.
okay. And again, those would be 50% matching grants if we were to go for them in the future. And that we fundraised for this. We'd have to do the same. We'd have to get local matching funds. And so I wonder if you could publicly recognize the people who've donated so far. Could someone read the list of
Yeah,
people and how
you've,
much?
I think you have this high, yeah, it's on the back page. It is Town of Southbridge on behalf of Claire Burt's Trust, Trifoni family, Hyde, and the Southbridge Historical Society. So the amounts, do you want me to give the amounts?
That's
to?
up to you.
Yeah, so Trifoni was $250, Hyde was $500, the Claire Burt's Trust was $2,000, and the Southbridge Historical Society was $8,000. Amount of what, $10,750.
So
So thank you.
So in doing the math, we have more than $8,000, so we're already working towards the next project or the next phase, or, we have future funds already in place.
I think it's great.
Anything else? Okay.
Steve, thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
that's super.
Anything else? All those in favor? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Very well. All those in favor? All right, adjourned at 7:15 or 5:15.